The following video contains some accident scene imagery which may upset some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Animations used in this video have been developed using evidence gathered during the investigation and are displayed for illustrative purposes only. They are not to be used for further analysis.
The ATSB has released a preliminary report from its ongoing investigation into a fatal floatplane accident which occurred near Rottnest Island on the 7th of January 2025. On the morning of the accident, Cessna 208 caravan amphibian, Whiskey Tango Yankee, and operated by Swan River Seaplanes, departed South Perth on a flight to Thomson Bay on Rottnest Island's northeast, with a pilot and 10 passengers on board. During the short and uneventful flight, the aircraft climbed to a cruising altitude of about 1,600 feet. The aircraft orbited to the north of Rottnest Island before landing in a south-southwest direction on the waters of Thomson Bay. On arrival, the passengers alighted the aircraft onto a pontoon and were then conveyed to the island on board a tender vessel. The aircraft remained at Thomson Bay throughout the day. After receiving notification from the operator's chief pilot that winds were forecast to increase in the afternoon, the pilot of Whiskey Tango Yankee used a tender vessel to observe the conditions in the usual takeoff area within Thomson Bay. After assessing the conditions in this area were too rough, the pilot determined they would take off closer to the southern shore of Thomson Bay, where conditions were calmer. The pilot planned to depart on an easterly track towards Phillip Rock. Shortly before 4 p.m, the pilot and the now 6 passengers that had travelled to Rottnest earlier that morning taxied for an easterly takeoff to the mainland. During takeoff, the floatplane travelled along the surface of the water for 32 seconds and became airborne with a high nose attitude as it approached the western tip of Phillip Rock. Climbing to about 16 feet above the surface of the water with an airspeed of about 57 knots, the right wing then dropped, followed by an apparent aerodynamic stall of the left wing, with the aircraft rolling to the left. The left wing tip, then the fuselage, collided with the water. The aircraft remained partially afloat in a vertical position, its nose resting on the sea floor and tail above the water. The 4 surviving passengers moved into a pocket of air in the rear cabin and exited the aircraft through either the rear right door, which was opened by a passenger, or the rear left window, which was broken by the first on-scene responding witness. Sadly, the pilot and 2 passengers were fatally injured. The aircraft eventually sank, coming to rest inverted on the sea floor within Thomson Bay. The wreckage was recovered from the water 2 days after the accident and transported to Perth for further examination. The investigation has also obtained and analysed statements from witnesses, including multiple videos from the accident. Witnesses recalled strong, gusty winds in Thomson Bay throughout the afternoon. Video recordings of the accident showed that the sea was calm close to the southern shore of Thomson Bay. Further into the bay, however, waves were larger and more frequent. The sea state around the aircraft during the takeoff run was choppy, with some whitecaps. An initial review of flight data by the ATSB showed there were 6 flights which departed from Thomson Bay after Swan River Seaplanes commenced operations with Whiskey Tango Yankee on the 2nd of January. All these flights departed with a southerly track, except for the accident flight, which departed with an easterly track. The ATSB's investigation is continuing and will include further analysis of weather and sea conditions, operator procedures, pilot decision-making, and accident survivability. You can read the preliminary report on the ATSB's website by searching AO-2025-001 from the link in the description below or from the link in our bio.